your new favorite, JJ Caballero, joined by the lovely Goins, Casey Goins. And this is MonoStereoVideo, a podcast about movie music. I'm a songwriter, producer, DJ, while Casey's an amazing hairstylist and salon owner. And we love movies and music, and this is the perfect excuse to talk about music and movies. How's it going, my love?
Good. How's it going with you?
Good. And their cultural impact.
I know. That's why I was like, no, too late.
I need to write it in.
Too late.
It's because I don't write it in, and then I still have soundtracks on there. There's some that I copy paste over that don't say soundtracks, and there's some that so I want to say movie music in general, just because we do cover like a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I don't know if we talk about cultural impact. I know we talk about how it impacts us personally.
That's a cultural impact, I guess. I don't know. And I mean, we bring things up as far as like who they are and what they were and what at the time was happening, and maybe like how popular the movie was, or that was a big soundtrack. Like, you know what I mean? Like we've talked about some big soundtracks recently that were like, oh man, this was the soundtrack of the summer, or things like that. Yeah. I'm trying to think which ones. Donnie Darko was definitely one.
I mean, it's for us, they were. For us, they're big. Like, for other people, they're like, what? I've never heard of this movie ever before in my life.
The Donnie Darko one, I think, like, it wasn't, and then it was. Like, it was, nobody knew the Gary Jules version of the and then it was in commercials, and then it was, because I feel it's this, like, the people that are us are the people making the commercials. They're the graphic designers. They're creating the and they were dorks that were into this. Oh, that, you know what I mean? They were into the stuff that we were into. Yeah. Welcome to the show. That's where we talk about. This is what we talk about.
Dorks.
Welcome, dorks.
You belong.
Welcome.
Join us.
Welcome. One of us.
Right.
One of us. This is MonoStereoVideo. Thank you for listening to last week's episode, which was it Party Monster?
No.
Which was the Monster of the Week. We talked about Nosferatu. Okay. Oh man, it's because it turned around. So I also recorded an episode yesterday that will come out in 2 weeks. So that and then that also might be outdated. That's gonna, I don't know. Just the episode, like, so we're recording this the day after Inauguration Day, and I talk about the inauguration on that episode. So it's gonna come out like not this week but next week, which is fine. Like fine. Nah, it's fine. It'll be fine.
Or you could just put that one out and put this out next week.
Nah, this is gonna be cool.
Because my birthday's Monday, so it would be next week.
But then that'd be 2 Monsters of the Week in a row. So you're going to hear this before the Monsters of the Week episode. But I mean, I don't care. Like, my thing is this. Like, it's okay, so I want to bring up David Lynch.
Yes.
Rest in power, David Lynch. That one really, really hurt.
That's been like, it made me sad, like David Bowie and like Prince.
Yes,
like,
very much so. The same type of impact.
It was just like, we're not going to get anything else.
I know.
Like, I'm sad for like I love everything he's made and all the stuff that we've watched, and like being able to have that experience, but just like knowing that there's no more.
Yeah. It's just, and it was Twin Peaks: The Return. That's the last big thing, you know. That's the last long form thing that he did. So yeah, it was very sad.
And then it was his birthday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he was 78 when he passed. I mean, that's even freaky.
And think about, like, even, like, when he posted the message about, like, that he had emphysema and stuff, he was just like, I smoked forever. Like, I knew the consequences. I'm not going to be here, like, feeling sorry for myself.
And
like,
he lived his life
smoke.
Yes.
I enjoy smoking.
Yes.
Like, and it's crazy, like, just seeing all the pictures that people have posted, and like even like the latest pictures, and I'm like, for as much as he smoked, for as long as he smoked, a white man, like he still looked really good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very much so.
He did. Like he didn't have the puckered lips.
No,
really at
he had
all.
the same.
Like,
he was just he just weathered more.
But he didn't look leathery stuff. Like he still looked really good, and he had amazing hair.
Yes,
he had amazing hair.
Transcendental meditation, my love. Meditation is the
right?
way.
It was like he
It's
like
the
stopped
way.
aging.
Meditation.
You know what I mean?
And like his art life, like that's his thing. That documentary that we always follow. Check. That documentary we always fall asleep to, or that I would fall asleep to. That you're like, nah, well, it's because there's a noise and stuff.
It's because sometimes there's certain things, like
I know.
even when the world of calm, like there's certain little sounds that'll
Yeah.
come out, and it like wakes me back up. Like it's weird.
But on that's what he talks about. Like he talks about him, his life and how it's always been for the art. And Eraserhead, there was like his whole room. They painted it black so he could film in there and things like that. Like the dedication to the art. Like that's the life he lived, and it luckily propelled him to great heights and stuff like that. But he did spend that time giving him his time. He gave his time back to like the meditation community, to advocating for that, and to opening your mind, and that it can solve so many things. Like it can open up such a and that's where it came from, because he was kind of just a kind of dad uncle guy. Like he's just kind of a regular guy. He was a Boy Scout. He grew up, believe in Spokane, Washington. Like he was born there, I believe. Grew up and just kind of like normal childhood and stuff, and like all the wild stuff that comes out of his head and such. Just I was reading a thing. It was about that, like the most wild art or the most creative things come from like the most like regular people that aren't trying to do too much, you know what I mean? Like they're just like the most like, and it's just because he freed up he led a very simple life. He was a very repetitive eater, that type of thing. And it's like all that excess thought could just be focused on the making of
art.
the thing. So yeah, that's what I loved about him. I read the Catching the Big Fish like years. I had his book on creativity. I had the audio book, and I read it years ago. Was it? When did I read? Actually, I may have been listening to it when I started seeing you. It was probably one of the things. I think
you might be right, because that's when you were like super into meditating, like and
I am still. I'm not super I felt it's a practice. It's a practice you got to keep up.
That's why.
It's
because we stopped doing a lot of stuff because
a lot because of work, and it's crazy. It's crazy how life catches up to you like that and just does that and takes over. Whereas David Lynch simply says, hey, a couple hours a day, or like a couple of times a day, it can start at 20 minutes. It can do so much for you. And it like when I do meditate in the morning, when I can make it there and practice and such, like there is a clarity I get. Like I'll get grumpy and shit at work, but it's always also like, well, there's perspective that I have when I just have that.
Your racing thoughts.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And it's when it's just like you wake up and you're just like you start racing and you're going. It's just you can't catch up with yourself sometimes. I'm a person that just can't catch up with myself. It happens all the time. You live with me.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, rest in power, David Lynch. And I got on that because the Monster of the Week episode, I watched a few David Lynch music videos and stuff. Yeah, I did some David Lynch stuff, and I don't know. I really adored him. Like I really did. I very much do. I do, and I will continue. All right. So this week we're talking about This Is 40. All right.
Because I will be 40.
Because Casey will be 40. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. What? It was that. It was like, hey, let's do this.
Yeah, it was just like, let's watch something. Yeah. Like, it's funny. It's Paul Rudd's in it. I'll watch anything with Paul Rudd.
Yeah, me too.
And it was super funny. Like, just seeing it again. And, like, even though we don't have kids, like, you can put yourself in that spot, like being in that situation of not ever having a moment to yourself.
You don't, because you're always working. You're now even more than then, because like our phones are even more attached to our hip than they were before.
Yeah.
Like over time, they're just more and more like just a part of our body, and they're, like more we're if you don't get a text back or whatever. Remember, like when you'd call somebody and they weren't there, you would just have to wait.
Yeah.
You
And
just have
now
to
it's
wait.
just like, even just worrying about the kind of punctuation that you put on a text, like just so it doesn't get misconstrued.
And then like just, oh man, why haven't they text me about it? And it's like, back in the day, like you couldn't.
It's like people are doing shit.
Yeah,
Like, but now you know everybody's scrolling, and you know everybody's phones are there.
That's
like
wild.
you're always listening. So when they don't message, it's more because you're like, I know you saw it. Like,
and that plays a little part in this movie, because I mean, this movie came out in the year 2012. It's directed by Judd Apatow, written by Judd Apatow. Very from his perspective, you could tell, like
for sure that was like a release for him, and like I'm sure their kids were in it, like
the kids were
his
in
wife.
I still think though, then this is just 2025 hobby being woke. Oh no, I don't know. I'll ask you about it though. I'll ask you about it.
Where it's like, you can't do that anymore. Or whatever.
It wasn't that. It's like, how did you feel about like the woman's perspective of it? Like, how did you feel? Like, do you feel that how did you feel she was portrayed, or how did you feel like?
Okay, so I feel like she was portrayed through a man's portrayal of what you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but it's also,
that's what I was thinking.
Like Leslie Mann is a very funny. She has a very good sense of humor, so I'm sure she had a lot of input on how the character was. So I don't feel like he's kind of like boxing in that way. Like I feel like if anything, he was like, okay, I need you to play this person so you can have this release with me. But it's a very white movie.
Yeah,
like,
super white. It's super white. Yeah, it's very white. The soundtrack is very white as well.
The soundtrack. Oh my god! As I was listening to it, I was like, "Oh wow! I didn't realize."
This is like my type of white. Like I'm not gonna lie.
I know it
like
is.
For
That's
sure.
Like
it. This is like
I get it.
When I was in the Lusitania, when I was playing with Gila Monster. This is like when I was recording stuff with Gabe and Jim. This is like
I get it.
The Americana hobby.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
no, yeah.
To me, it's like, okay, I will say this.
Okay.
I feel like it was kind of kismet that we decided to do, or that I wanted to pick this movie, because the soundtrack was very Americana, and we're gonna be going to Nashville.
Okay.
Like, just listening to the songs, I'm sure most people that love country music, or especially country music now, wouldn't find this album to be very country. But to me, it was a lot of those instruments that are found in classical country music or whatever. Yeah. Like, you could hear a lot of that, but that's Americana. And it's just, for me, I'm like, it all sounds the fucking same.
There is that. Like, but I do, like, I'm gonna do this. Like, to me, I'm totally with you. Yes. Because, and if you don't listen to this type of stuff, you can't tell Ryan Adams from Brian Adams from yada da from yada do da da da. Like it's you. I mean, there's a lot of similar chord progressions. And
but I also get it too, because there's a lot of bands that I listen to and I love them so much because they are lots of little similar bits and lots of stuff that draws me to it. So I get it. Other people would be like, all of your shit fucking sounds the same.
And so
yes. So
that's a thing here too, in that I feel like a lot of this type of music, Americana and stuff, is very influential. Like, and is very influential to even people that make the music that you listen to. You know what I mean? Like, even I'm sure Peter Murphy was listening to Big Star or the band. Like, maybe he heard the band at one point, or you know what I mean? Like, there's songwriter, like, that's what I like about this, and what people still like about Bob Dylan, and what people carry on about Bob Dylan so much is the songwriter-ness of it all. You know what I mean?
The poetry of it.
The poetry, the prose, the movement.
Yeah, so I can appreciate that, because I do gravitate more towards, like, I want to hear what the song, like, I want to know what they're saying, like, I want to know.
And that's what I like about these guys a lot. And like we'll talk more about it like when I get, but like that's why I like Ryan Adams a lot and stuff. Like that's yeah for sure. This is 40 though is a kind of sequel to Knocked Up, the 2000 the other Judd Apatow movie. What was it? 2009, 2007. Wow. Yeah, it's a semi sequel because like Leslie Mann, like Debbie and Pete were in Knocked Up.
They were. Oh,
they were
okay,
the married
okay.
Yeah.
It's because I like Knocked Up. I didn't like. I know I've seen it, but it was also like I wasn't really worrying about seeing it, so I wasn't paying attention. So I didn't remember they were.
It's like they carry them as the same characters, but like.
None of the other people are in.
Not really. Like Jason Segel was in, but he's a different guy.
He's their trainer.
He's a different guy. Yeah, he's just a different guy. I was like,
he was the main character. No, he wasn't.
No. It was Seth Rogen. It was Seth Rogen. Yeah. It's a very Judd Apatow movie. I had it. It was a good time.
I like Judd Apatow movies. Like I feel like
me too.
You know what I mean? It's very.
Yeah.
They're easy to watch.
Yes.
They're not like, you know what I mean? Like they're easy.
Even the conflict in the movie, it wasn't super harrowing or anything. It was a very like
it was just real life problems.
Yeah.
Like marital problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
White marital problem. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be like that. It just was. I was just like, wow, like because there's things that yes I can super relate to, and then there's other stuff where I'm like, no.
Yeah. Because it's also so it's a lot of based on his life. Like it's a lot of like it is Judd Apatow talking about like things that he's gone through. Like the house that they filmed in was actually like 7 houses down in his neighborhood from where he lived, and they just had another house that they filmed in and stuff like that. But it was in his neighborhood where they filmed, and he did that on purpose too because he also wanted to make a movie with his family and be around his family because he'd been doing, you know what I mean? They're doing
like
shoots
imagine
everywhere.
How fun. Like I don't have to go be away. Like okay, you're in this scene today, and like you're gonna do this, or especially for like the youngest daughter.
Yeah.
Go through the cast list.
Let's go through the cast list. I
know. Go through the cast list.
Paul Rudd played Pete, who was. So, okay, I think this is like, he did what I want to do. Mm-hmm. He's a
like
record,
the job he had,
indie record label owner, but also he did do it the wrong way. Like everything that he did, like watching the movie now,
was frustrating for you?
I'm like, oh yeah, like why did you do all that? Like why did you pour so much money into that one niche record that nobody is gonna buy? Like you do those types of things. Like you don't pour like a life savings into that. Like you're not gonna get the return on like that niche thing. Like you know what I mean? So yeah, but it was I like his character. I like Paul Rudd. He's fucking awesome. We've talked about him a few times. He's awesome. Love Paul Rudd. Clueless. Ant-Man.
If there's ever any controversy that comes out about Paul Rudd, like I'll be like devastated.
Let's see.
Like the world will shatter for me because you know what I mean. Like he's
55. He was born April 6th, 1969 in Passaic, New Jersey. He went to the University of Kansas. Okay. His spouse is Julie Yeager. They were married in 2003. We talk about his movies and how we like him, and I don't think I ever like talk about him. No, I don't think I ever talk about him. He was a former vice president historical tour guide and former vice president of Trans World Airlines. Oh, his father was.
I was like him?
What?
I'm like, when?
I don't know.
I'm like, when would that have happened?
Yeah, but he's awesome in this. He's super funny in this, and he was good. I don't know. I just like this was my vibe because of the record label. Like, there's a lot of things that I was like, it's Los Angeles. I fucking love Los Angeles.
Like, yeah, that seems like a really cool job. Yeah. Like, fuck yeah.
It's just, it's so... Yeah, that was cool. Leslie Mann, of course, as Debbie. Leslie Mann's cool. I like her. The Cable Guy. I was like, what's like the first thing I saw her in?
Okay.
I think it may have been The Cable Guy and then like Big Daddy.
Okay.
Like that's where I remember her. She was also in The 40-Year-Old Virgin. I mean, she's Judd Apatow's wife, so she's a frequent collaborator. She's frequently in his films. 40-year-old virgin. She was in the Bling Ring? She was one of the moms or what?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, wait. Yes? I can't remember.
She was born March 6, 1972. Let's see. George of the Jungle. That was probably... No, I saw the cable guy before I saw George of the Jungle. Yeah, I saw Big Daddy. Oh, I brought up Big Daddy. Knocked Up. We already brought it up. Funny People. She's funny. She's good. She knows how to, like, be neurotic and shit. Mm-hmm. That's her thing. She, like, knows how to, like, get, like...
It's because you can,
she can turn it to 10.
She can seem like she's being serious and then, like, do something wackadoo. Like,
yeah. Oh, man. What's that move? I forgot what... Is it the 40-year-old virgin where she's, like, the date that he has and she's, like, drunk?
Gets fucked up. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the best character in my opinion, that she's played. That was fucking funny.
She's just funny.
You know, I'm gonna... Okay, so Judd Apatow and Iris Apatow as Sadie and Charlotte. Judd Apatow is kind of, like, blowing up a little bit. Like, she's doing her thing. And, like, she was awesome in this. The kids were funny in this.
They're funny.
They're fucking funny in this.
Like, you could tell there was some parts where the younger one, like she would look at the camera, or it would be like she was trying not to laugh and stuff. But Maude was totally on, like when she'd have her meltdowns and stuff, like
that too. Yeah, like the whole,
just being self-aware of being able to like really go for it, like you know.
Yeah, that was real cute. They were really funny. She was real good. And then so Judd Apatow has recently been in Euphoria. Was Euphoria right? It was Euphoria. She's in the SZA Keke Palmer movie one of them days.
Cool.
Yeah, she's in that. I've been like more and more. I want to see that.
But yeah, we're gonna watch it.
I know we're gonna watch it.
We don't have to see everything in the theater, so it's like we're gonna watch it.
I know. I also saw she was coming out in something else recently. No, I don't know what it was, but yeah, she's doing her thing. Iris Apatow. Let's see. She's been like she was a voice in that Sausage Party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like
how funny.
maybe like a little kid or something like that. But she's featured in a few of the movies as a little kid and stuff like that. I wonder if she's like doing anything right now. Let's see. She's known as her role as Arya in the Netflix. Oh, you never saw Love, the Netflix series with Paul Rust and Gillian Murphy. Or no, Gillian Anderson. Gillian something. You never saw that, right? Mm-mm. So that show was... I'll get to the cast list, I'm sorry. But that show was Paul Rust and Gillian... I can't remember her fucking name. But that was him and her, and she was like a recovering alcoholic. And he was Iris Apatow's... She was an actress in the show, like super famous. And he was her on-set teacher. And she was actually very good. She was like a little brat. She was like a little asshole brat. But then she would like give him advice and stuff like that. Like it was, So okay, cool. Okay. That's how I recognized her. Okay, then we'll go back up to John Lithgow was Oliver. He kind of makes his way like a little more than halfway in the movie. He's Leslie Mann's kind of estranged father. She's trying to establish a connection with him. John Lithgow, I like him. He's always good.
He'll always be third rock from the sun for me.
Always third rock from the sun. Yeah, he's third rock from the sun. Most famously in All That Jazz, Blowout, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. He plays James Franco's father. He's the reason. That's how the apes, because he's trying to come up with the thing to cure his Alzheimer's, and it works. And then he gives it to Caesar, and then.
He becomes self-aware.
That's a whole other thing. Yeah, he's in so many movies. He's been around forever. Let's see. He was born in 1945 in October. He's prolific in television, film, and stage. Yeah, he's in everything. So he's won 2 Golden Globes, 6 Primetime Emmy Awards, 3 Screen Actors Guild Awards, 2 Tonys. And he's been nominated for 2 Academy Awards and 4 Grammys. Wow. That's awesome. Yeah. He was inducted into the American Theater Hall of Fame and has received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Yeah, he's awesome. Good. Oh, he studied at Harvard. That's crazy. Okay, so in the list, the way it goes, Megan Fox, She's Desi. She's not in a lot of the movie. She's like a frequent. Yeah, she's pretty funny. Yeah, she's pretty funny in this.
Yeah.
She's pretty funny in this.
I don't hate her. Like, I know, like, a lot of people hate on her and whatever, but I'm like, I don't hate her.
Nah, there's much more annoying people out there in Hollywood, and she's not as annoying.
I like that she's not trying to take herself too seriously.
Yeah,
like,
she doesn't.
She's like, I'm young and hot, and I'm gonna be young and hot right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
And she let herself just be like, and that's the thing. Like,
I might not like care for Machine Gun Kelly, but it's like, I don't care that Timothy Chalamet is dating what's her face either.
Yeah, but like, I think it's this. Like, when it happened, when she popped, it was like Transformers, and it's like people were like hating because she was so hot. But then it's like,
I loved, like, when she did Jennifer's Body. I was like, all right. I'm like, I like this chick.
Yeah. That movie's the fucking best.
I love that movie.
That movie's the best. Yeah, Jennifer's Body. It's been reclaimed as a classic. I don't think it was like a hit at the time.
It wasn't at the time. People were kind of like, what?
Yeah.
But then it was just like the lingo was too good. Like, it was just so funny.
I'm going to go down to Albert Brooks was Larry. He was his dad. He was Pete's dad.
I can't stand that man.
I know. I like Albert Brooks.
I don't.
He's a legend. He kind of is. Like, he's, Finding Nemo.
No, I get it, but that's like...
You know I know what you mean.
Yeah,
yes.
The sound of his voice.
He's a very good antagonist.
He's easy to
He's easy,
hate.
Yeah. Drive. He was the bad guy in Drive also, remember that?
He was?
Yeah. He was one of the bad dudes in Drive.
What?
He was in Twilight Zone, Private Benjamin. There's a documentary on him on HBO that I've been wanting to watch. Yeah. But Albert Brooks he played his father. I like him.
You can watch that when I'm not around.
I know. I'll watch that when you're not around. Then I'll go back up to Chris O'Dowd, who played Ronnie. Chris O'Dowd. He's so funny. He's so funny.
I think he's hilarious.
He was in Bridesmaids. He was in Thor: The Dark World. Oh, I think he was a voice in Thor. No, he was in Thor.
He was in a few episodes of Girls. He was funny on that show too.
Yeah, he's funny. I heard him on some podcasts and stuff. What was the show?
He's Australian, right?
I think the IT Crowd is that one. Yeah. The IT Crowd was.
Is that where he came from? Joe would always talk about that show, and I didn't have cable or a way to watch it when that was on. Yeah. But that's a show that Joe, like, he always would quote it and stuff. But I'm like, I haven't seen it. I know what you're talking about, but I haven't been able to watch it.
Oh, it has Matt Berry and Richard Ayoade.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I love Matt Berry. I'll watch anything with Matt Berry. Yeah, Chris O'Dowd. He's funny. He was funny in this. He was the co-worker at the label and stuff, or the marketing. I don't know. I don't think
he was a co-owner. I think
he was just like a marketer or something.
He was one of the booking agents or something, right?
And he shared all the frustrations I was sharing too. I was like, but
yeah, like some of the snarky stuff he would say back to him. It's just like
Jason Segel plays Jason. If I was an actor, I would totally fucking do that. Like, my character, if I was like a that actor, I had a few lines, I'd just be Javi. Yeah, I'd just be Javi. Like, I wouldn't want another name. I don't think. That'd just be Javi. Oh, you know what I mean? That'd be so much easier. But that I like when actors do that shit too.
Yeah.
Jason Segel's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's super funny. SLC Punk, which we are gonna do soon. Forgetting Sarah Marshall. This is the end. Knocked Up.
Freaks and
Geeks. Can't Hardly Wait. Where else?
What did he play on Can't Hardly Wait?
I don't remember, but it says it here.
Jason Segel.
You keep thinking. I'm gonna think of, what did I think of right now? I Love You, Man, Freaks and Geeks. Fuck, I thought there was something I thought of right now. How I Met Your Mother. Because I watched that whole show. I loved his character Marshall on that show. He was awesome. Him and
Lily were cute. Yeah. They were funny.
They were awesome.
Allison Hannigan.
I know Allison Hannigan. I know. She's awesome. But that fucking last episode ruined that show for me. That last episode is like
Amber feels the exact same way as
I
you.
would rewatch the show. I would rewatch the show if it wasn't for the last episode because I know that the last episode's there. I'm like, this is all for what? Like, this is all stupid. Like, there's that last fucking episode, man. It was a good show. Good show up to that because like inside jokes, like there was like all their that was a good show. All of it. It was so good. But yeah, Jason Segel. Alrighty. Melissa McCarthy was in this also as like a angry mom. She had an awesome part.
I like the outtakes that they did with her afterwards. Yeah. That was funny.
Lena Dunham. She was also a co-worker at the record label. We'll talk about Lena Dunham. I mean, she's in stuff like she was in Girls and Tiny Furniture and what other movie is this? What's this? She was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And she was in House of the Devil and the Innkeepers. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, Lena Dunham. I don't know. Mumblecore. That's like the terminology. That's what the branch of like entertainment, like girls is mumblecore.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like they're kind of talking about this particular thing, like or like there's like long quietness, and they're just watching them be indie or shit like that. Mumblecore. Right. Charlene Yi also was Jodie.
She's fucking stupid.
Well, Charlene Yi goes as Lo now.
Low?
Yeah, Low.
Like just L-O?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Low or Low. I saw them pop up on Instagram.
I hadn't seen anything about them for a while.
Me neither. No. And it was just like a voice on Steven Universe.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was like a whole, hey, I'm just doing a thing for Palestine, free Palestine, or it was what have you, and it was like Low, formerly Charlene Yi.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, she was a creep in this.
Yeah,
total creep in this.
oh my gosh, like so funny.
So fucking funny. Yeah, so funny. Let's see Michael Ian Black made an appearance as the accountant. Wyatt Russell was the hockey player, was the flirty hockey player. Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day. Shut the fuck up, blah. Or I don't know, like his little appearance in there.
I'm like,
he gave like snark back to Chris O'Dowd. Like, but trying to be funny.
Yeah, like...
And it wasn't funny.
Like, no.
It was a little too much. Yeah, no. Also, Graham Parker
plays Graham Parker.
He's featured in this. Graham Parker of Graham Parker and the Rumor, who is the central band that... Pete? His name? Pete?
Right?
Paul Rudd? Paul Rudd? Pete. That Pete is Graham Parker and the Rumor is the band that Pete's releasing like the latest legacy record of, and it's like we'll get into Graham Parker and the Rumor right now, but the band Graham Parker is pretty funny in this. He's actually pretty charming. Like he's just an old guy.
He's like, I'm not gonna take myself seriously. Like I'll make fun of myself. Yeah. It's okay.
He's just like, I'll
play this guy.
I'm just a dad. Yeah, like I'm a rock star, but I'm just a dad. Like I'm a guy that dresses into dad stuff. Like you know what I mean? Yeah. It's so yeah. I don't know. It was fun. So I was reading also that in March of 2022, Judd Apatow had said that he had written or had started working on This Is 50, but who knows if that's gonna come out? I don't know.
When was this released?
This was in 2012. So he would have tried to do like the 10 years, like This Is 50 type of thing.
Yeah, so it would have been.
It would have had to happen. Yeah. So I guess that's not gonna happen or anything.
I mean, it's not that far to This Is 60, and that would be.
You're true.
You know what I mean?
You're very true. But yeah, that's the majority of that's everybody. That's everybody of note here. And
we're gonna do something else of note.
What do we have there? What do we have there?
Cocktails.
Oh, some cocktails. But we don't drink, Casey.
Chicken farm.
Oh.
Yes.
So our friend Julio from Big Chicken Farm, shout out. He gave us so we got a couple of shirts. We got some cool shirts.
Some cool baked
got
chicken
some
farm
cool baked chicken farm shirts.
They have cool koozies for the cans because the cans are like they're the slim cans, like when Ultra first came out with their
the Michelob
slim ones.
Ultra
So their
slim
koozies are like the slim ones, and their like marketing is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Baked Chicken Farm is here. I'm filming myself here right now with the little cocktail. Baked Chicken Farm is a cannabis company, and they are based out of Las Cruces. Mm-hmm. They're based out of Las Cruces, started in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Local farmers, locally grown. They distribute to a lot of places in New Mexico.
They're like the largest. What is their ranking?
They're While I looked that up, Casey, tell us which flavor you're drinking right now.
I'm drinking the grape. I usually am not a fan of grape flavored things. Purple flavor. But this one actually does taste like actual grape.
Yeah, this
is crazy.
Like these so it's a fast acting THC drink. It's 10 milligrams, so it's not so much. It's like I guess like an 18 ounce can or a 16 ounce can, like that you'd get like of one of those skinny Red Bulls, right?
It's like you ate a gummy. It's a gummy.
Yeah, it's enough in a gummy, but it's like it's meant to be sippable, so you can just like you can have one while all your other homies are drinking their beers and stuff. Mm-hmm. You could have a few and have a good time. These are very good. We like them a lot. We are very grateful to our friend Julio, who we love,
who suggested them, and yeah,
he always suggests these. Big Chicken Farms. They're an indoor cannabis facility. Oh, damn. And if you go to the website, bakechickenfarm.com, you'll see all the products and stuff. They're an award-winning, hash holes, runts, and gushers. Wow. Runts. Oh, their award-winning strain is called Runts B. It's an award-winning Big Chicken Farm original strain that delivers a flavorful smoke and the perfect balance between body and head high. So they also have a restaurant where they have baked chicken, right? That's like their thing. They have they
make baked chicken.
They bake some chicken. They do baked chicken, not fried chicken.
It's a baked.
As we always have to correct Casey's mom. It's not fried chicken. It's not a fried chicken farm.
Right? It's not Popeyes.
It's a baked chicken farm. I have their website, bakechickenfarm.com. They're on 2702 West Amador in Las Cruces, New Mexico. If you're ever passing through, if you're ever in New Mexico, Las Cruces, New Mexico, or if you're ever at a dispensary in New Mexico and you see their stuff, like, give it a try. It's really good stuff. What's the one? Oh, man. We've done a Runts, but I don't think it was that Runts B with them.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it was the Runts B with them. The GMO, their GMO is real fucking good. Yeah. And these drinks, too, they have a bunch of awards, too. Okay, the grape is America's Best Hemp THC Beverage for 2020. Oh, two of the Rockies Best and America's Best. Holy shit. Damn, this shit good. Mm-hmm. I like these. I like these a lot. Big Chicken Farms, cocktails. We're also... we're not sponsored. Like... We really love this shit. Like we really love their stuff. Like we're down for the shirts. We got some shirts. We got some koozies. We got some little bags. We're down. We're super down for the stuff. I just want to spread the word.
And then also check out their cannacribs.org.
Oh yeah, cannacribs.org.
They have a little featurette on there that's pretty cool too.
Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah, I'll link that in the show notes. I'll link the cannacribs.org in the show notes right now. Mm-hmm. Let's get... I mean, I want to ask, like, did you see this movie in the theater?
No, I didn't.
No?
This was one that was rented.
I saw this in the theater.
Pam wanted to watch it.
And were you just like, meh? Or were you down?
No, I was down, but I was also... So this came out in 2015.
2012, sorry.
That that was like the height of my partying and stuff. Like I was in party mode. So it was just something that I was like, oh, okay, but I couldn't relate to it. I wasn't a parent. I was an adult. I wasn't an adult.
That too. Like I did see it in the theater, but because of Paul Rudd, because I'll watch anything with Paul Rudd in it. Mm-hmm. And at the time too, anything Judd Apatow. Like anything that Judd Apatow, super bad. Super bad.
Yeah.
Judd Apatow produced, like super bad.
That movie was. I remember when that movie came out. It was just like, oh yeah, it's easy. It's easy to watch.
I love that movie. We should do that soundtrack. Okay. Maybe, yeah. And
that one's pretty funky.
It is.
Yeah, I'm down.
We should do that soundtrack. Yeah. Maybe watch it after this. Okay. All right. Yay! Cheers! Mm-hmm. Are we just doing Judd Apatow movies?
I'm like, are we gonna do a deep dive of Judd Apatow?
We don't. I don't know.
To
if
be continued. We'll
maybe.
See.
We'll
might.
See.
We
I
might.
don't know. Salud, my love. Salud.
Cheers.
With our Big Chicken Farms cocktails. Let's get to this soundtrack finally. But yeah, I saw it in the theater. I think I might have seen it with Jake. I don't know. It seems like a movie I would have watched with Jake or by myself. Probably. Yeah.
I was suggesting it to one of my clients to watch because she likes like easy, fun going movies or whatever. And I was like, watch it with your mom. It'll be funny, like so that you could see each other's perspective. And immediately, the start of the movie popped into my head, and I was like, okay.
Oh.
And, like, the movie starts off, and it might be kind of awkward. So I had to kind of, like, give her a little gist. I'm like, it starts off with the two main characters having sex in the shower.
Yeah, and that's what, I mean, quick synopsis, I guess. Like, it is just about Pete and Debbie. And Debbie's gonna be 40. They're both turning 40.
And just trying to, like, how do you feel about it? Mm-hmm. Like, how do you feel about your life? Like, where did you think you'd be? Mm-hmm. It's just all of that.
Leslie Mann. Also, so Desi and Jody are Leslie Mann, are Debbie's employees in her store. She has a boutique store. There's a whole where
she's thinking she knows somebody's
stealing money from there because Pete has sunk so much money into the record label and such. Like their financial situation's not so good. It's about that. They're having problems because of that because they're getting older. Leslie Mann's in
Pete's
denial.
Loaning tons of money to his
loaning
father
all sorts
and
of money.
telling Debbie he's not. That I was just kind of like all the stuff he kept doing and like not telling her. And I was just like, oh no, like that's just.
Yep. That was hardcore.
And then when she finds out, it's just like, oh fuck. Mm-hmm. It's like we're always gonna find out. Don't fucking do that shit.
And this is all leading to their birthday party. They have a joint birthday party, or it's Paul Rudd's birthday party, and it used to be Pete's birthday party, and it used to be their joint birthday party. But since Debbie is in denial,
she's 38. She's not
38,
40.
not 40. That's that, and hilarity ensues throughout the whole thing. There's a lot of stuff going on. He's biking, he's trying to keep fit, but then he gets hemorrhoids,
or he eats 1 million cupcakes a day.
I want a cupcake so bad.
I know. Every time he kept eating cupcakes, I was like,
I know. But did you feel that reflected in you as this is 40? Like, how much of that did you see in like us?
Just the little things of like when she'd get mad, he was in the bathroom forever, but he was on his phone. Like, I know you don't do that because you're just in the bathroom anyway. Like, it's not because you're on your phone. But just like that little bit of like that needing, him needing to escape and like go hide. It's just he's in the bathroom. He's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Or just like how little stuff to one partner can feel like, why is that such a big deal to the other partner?
Yeah.
And, like, they don't understand why it's such a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, little stuff like that. There's lots of times where I'm like, oh, yeah, I could totally feel that.
I get that. Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but none of the parent stuff, obviously. But just, like, the daughter, like, feeling frustrated because I thought I've come to admit that if I did have kids, that I would be a helicopter parent, and my kids would probably hate me, like, because I'd be helicopter.
Yeah.
So at least, like, seeing how their daughter telling them, like, you don't let me do anything. I'm not even bad. I just want to watch Lost. Like, that's all she wants to do. And they, like, so she's just so annoyed with everybody. And then, like, that scene when she's in her room and she's like, I don't have anything to and like I related to that, feeling that way as a teenager, and you're just like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So there was lots of funny parts where I could relate to, just depending, but
it's a very slice of life movie.
Yes.
Like there are slices of life in there that you can identify with, even if it's not like, you know, you don't live in LA in like the fanciest neighborhood or whatever.
I know that too is just kind of like, okay, they're turning 40, but they have luxury vehicles, and they live in a luxury neighborhood.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It was just kind of like, that's where I couldn't relate.
And I mean that, and like they're like, oh, he lent his dad $80,000.
Yeah,
like, you had $80,000 to lend, bro.
And you're continuously like giving him lots of like.
Yeah.
You're not giving him hundreds of dollars. You're not giving him thousands. You're giving him tens of thousands of dollars.
Thousands.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I could never give anybody tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, that was very unrelatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have kids on top of it. Like, whoa.
I've never had tens of thousands of dollars in my bank account at one time.
Me either.
I don't think I've ever had more than a few $1,000.
Tens of thousands, but it was either because a loan dropped for school, like a FAFSA came in, or like a...
I haven't even had that much.
No, yeah, I would do my whole, like, chunk semester. I wasn't doing little bits. Like, I would pay the whole year of stuff. Like, I would take it out for the whole thing. And books and whatever. What else?
I don't think I could not relate. It's the same way I can't relate to people in my day job. Like, I cannot buy these things. These things that I'm talking to you about, I cannot afford this. Yeah. That's why, yeah. So that was, of course. But all in all, it was a movie. Like, it was fun. It was a fun time. Let's talk about this soundtrack. The first song is Yes, I'm Your Angel by Yoko Ono, or Yoko Ono by way of John Lennon, Yoko Ono, and the Plastic Ono Band.
It was very Toy Story for me. Like, this is Toy Story.
It's very her and John Lennon.
It's because I'm not familiar with their relationship or their music. Like, I know of it, obviously. Everybody does, but I don't know about it. I didn't read about it or try to know about it.
So Yoko Ono is a Japanese multimedia artist and singer. So she met John Lennon in one of her art installations. She was having a show. He happened to go to the show. It's a thing. Oh man, what did it say? He talks about it. He said, I went to a piece and I saw. It was just a big white painting, and in the center it had one little black dot, and then it had a magnifying glass attached to it, and you brought the magnifying glass up to it, and you magnified it, and it said love or something like that. He had a story about that, and that's how I knew she was it. And so she was a multimedia artist, like, prior to meeting him and stuff like that. The misconception of Yoko Ono's relationship with John Lennon stems from racism, for sure, and misogyny, for sure. There was a good documentary about their relationship and all that stuff it was on Netflix for a while, I think. But it went into detail about, like, she was like his muse, but she was like she was ever present. Like the thing was, like, she was like in every session, and if he was playing with the band, she'd be like sitting there right next to him, and you can see a lot of videos and stuff like that. So people took this as like, oh my god, who's this girl? And then the Beatles broke up, so it's like, oh my god, she was there all the fucking time, and blah 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 blah. When it comes to find out, like, no, she was like, she yes, they had their things, and yeah, people would get annoyed by her being there sometimes and stuff, but it wasn't that drama. Yeah. It was just, but people have since realized, like, she is a performance artist. She has music of her own. Some crazy out there, and something like this, like Toy Story and stuff. Yeah. She had a installation at Chalk the Block one year, and it was it was awesome. I was just super stoked just to see a Yoko Ono. Like, it was just like trees, and you walk into like these trees that are set up, and it was you wrote like a message, like there was like a little thing with some tags, and you just wrote a message, or like you wrote like a dream that you wanted to fulfill on that tag, and you hung it on the tree. And it was just like you walk through this little, it's like, and it wasn't even like a big setup, it was just like you walk through this and there's all these people's little dreams just like hanging over you on these trees and stuff like that. I don't know, it was pretty cool.
That's cool.
It was cool. Yoko Ono, my Tio Chava, shout out to Tio Chava, in Florida, Miami, Florida, Tio Chava. He sat next to her at one of her, at a table at like a banquet in Miami one time. And he was like, "Oh my god, I met Yoko Ono," and you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's cool. Yoko Ono's cool. She grew up in Tokyo, moved to New York City. That's where they met John Lennon, and then he was a part of her band. Like they were creative together. Like the Plastic Ono band was like, that was their band. That was their band. Yeah. Okay, next. Sorry. I love Yoko Ono. I love the Beatles. Anything the Beatles.
No, I know.
I fucking
You
love
do.
them. I fucking love them. Next, Norah Jones, Always Judging. Did you not like this song?
No, I love Norah Jones. I'm just saying there was very few, like, there was like 3 songs that I was like, okay. But that's why I'm like, I don't have to like
No, yeah, I know.
the movie and the soundtrack synonymously. Like, I don't have to like every soundtrack. I don't have to like every movie. I just,
Have we talked about Norah Jones before?
I'm sure we've brought her up.
I'm trying to think if she's come up on the pod. Oh,
I feel like we
like this
brought
song.
her up.
I like the song. The
I
song.
like Norah Jones.
It's called Always Judging. It is very. It's like do do do. It. She's more jazzy usually. She's more like a little more moody. This is very like Regina Spektor-y.
Very commercial-y.
A little bit. I like it though, but it's also, wow. Is that like it's like a Latin thing? The bling 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 bling. I like her words. Her words are cool. Always judging, always judging. Do you remember when this came out?
Oh, when was it?
She was born in 1979. She's an American singer and songwriter. She's a Shankar. She's the daughter of Ravi Shankar.
Who's that?
Sujo. Ravi Shankar is a fucking famous Indian satirist and composer. So like, Ravi Shankar did stuff. He did stuff with the Beatles. He played like with George Harrison, I think, most specifically. But he played the sitar. Okay. Yeah. That was his.
So that's her dad.
That's her dad.
Wow.
Born in New York City. Okay. For some reason I thought she was a Texas person. Did she go to school in Texas?
I don't know.
Oh, let's see. After her parents separated in 1986, Jones lived with her mother growing up in Grapevine, Texas. Okay, cool. Always judging. Yeah, this is a cool song. I like it. It's good. I know this pops up in the movie. I just don't remember exactly when.
Yeah, I can't remember when it pops up.
Okay. So, first Graham Parker song. What do you like? The only version I could find was this one, and it's an ASCAP. It's a performance at ASCAP in 2013, but the song on the soundtrack itself is with the Punch Brothers, I believe. The Punch Brothers are like a kind of, what's it called? Is it bluegrass? I want to say like a bluegrassy group. They're more famous in that realm. Like they've been around for quite a while and stuff. It's cool stuff. I mean, but it's the type of music that you know what I mean? It's. What did you think about him? What did you think about the songs that you heard from him?
It's just not it's boring to me. And then the sound of his voice is not fun. It sounds whiny. Like, I can't. It's fine. There's things, I don't hate it. There's things where I'm like, oh my God, like it's corny. This isn't corny. It's just not I just wouldn't, it's boring. That's all. It's just boring.
So Graham Parker and the Rumor were an English pub rock, new wave rock band. Wow. Active from the late 70s to the early 80s. The Rumor was the backup band for Graham Parker, like it's kind of his songwriting vehicle and such. They recorded, and the Rumor themselves recorded 3 albums without Graham Parker. I'm trying to see how many albums they have. He's just has a lot of stuff. Okay, Graham Parker and the Rumor themselves have 1, 2. They have like 5 albums. By himself, he's got a couple. Yeah, he just releases stuff. I mean, these are like. I was thinking about this in the car. These bands are like. I want to call them like the openers. You know what I mean? Like. It's because I'm trying to look. Oh, he opened up. I think there's some relations to band members of like one of the Elvis Costello bands. They were on Razor and Tie and Capitol Records and stuff. They're like just like it's like less known stuff. You'd probably see them opening up for a bigger band, and that's probably where they kind of stayed, right? And like. With this, like they did, it showed there's some sort of like fan base and stuff like that to these bands. But I find like it's the open. I'm trying to think of like a band that's like the opener. You know what I mean? Because it's also I was thinking about it in the car and like thinking like, well, that's kind of a nice little niche to kind of like. He supported the Police. Who else did he support? But it's kind of like a thing to like. If I could just okay. I don't need to be super millionaire, super famous, Jay-Z, Beyonce. Like if I could just be like an opener for like some bands forever and just like hop around, like being a different opener for different bands and like meeting the bands and maybe collaborating with them, but still. Tacking as the opener on the tours and stuff like that, I don't see that as a bad lane. Like I see that as like as long as you can get a consistent income and shit like that. Like I don't know, like I think we see a lot of cool openers that are like, oh yeah, that's fucking pretty good. You know what I mean? And they can have steady fan bases and stuff. And that's how I feel like a Graham Parker is. Like they can. I think that's the whole thing here. He was trying to like revive and have some sort of, you know what I mean? And like that's man, Billy Joe Armstrong was so indie that he loved Graham Parker, that type of shit. Yeah. So I don't know, like I have a soft spot in my heart for these types of bands, I guess. But yeah, the music was very boring. Like that's I kind of have your reaction. I have like the same I tried to listen to more of him and I couldn't. Like I was like, well.
Yeah. And it's just it's really the sound of his voice. I just can't.
Yeah, because he has an Elvis Costello thing and I can't with Elvis Costello.
See, and I like Elvis Costello.
Yeah? I don't.
I mean, it's not like he's on my Pandora and I'm listening to Elvis Costello radio.
Thanks goodness.
But I don't hate him. Like I don't mind it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm just not a big fan of his. I don't know. Lindsey Buckingham's Sick of You. Did you enjoy this song?
This song I didn't mind. Like I could hear, like it's Lindsey Buckingham. You can hear.
It's Lindsey Buckingham.
You can hear Fleetwood Mac.
That's why. You can hear Fleetwood Mac. Yeah. I like this song.
This is song different. Like I get it. It's chill, it's calm, but it's not boring.
And his guitar playing's insane. Like he's playing a regular acoustic, but also a 12-string acoustic on top of that. It's like those like that's cool. Like he just does some crazy shit. And the way he plays guitar too is wild. Like he's like a picker, and like he can do so much shit. Like he's so versatile in the way he plays, and he's a good songwriter. Buckingham Nicks was where he started off with Stevie Nicks, and then they met Mick Fleetwood, and they formed Fleetwood Mac. legends. Are they I mean, let's see, he's still active, he's still like touring around. Fleetwood Mac has, I mean, there's since been what was her name that passed away from Fleetwood Mac? McVie. Oh my gosh, what's her name? Christine McVie passed away some years ago. But they had done like reunion tours. They'd done like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame stuff and such. Famously a band where it was like everybody dated each other and hated each other or some shit. Like it was like famously a band like that, like Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks. Like it was very toxic, a very toxic, but amazing, like art poppy, blues rocky, soft rocky, classic rock classics, just classics. Yeah, Lindsey Buckingham's guitaring is just, he's amazing. He's amazing. I really love him. This song I like. The second song I'll have my opinions about when we get to that second song of his. But yeah, this song I like, Sick of You. Again, this is this is 40, yeah. But it's also specifically Judd Apatow's 40. Like it's also specifically like this is my white indie guy soundtrack. That's for sure. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. As exemplified by this next song. Which is coming right after this one beer ad that is popping up right now. Paul Simon's Rewrite. I like this song.
I didn't hate it either. That's why I said
I like
there
the
was
guitaring.
There was like 4 songs that I could like, okay.
Just Paul Simon just does crazy stuff with the guitar too, like that I mean that's not I don't know if that's him specifically. Like, I mean he probably had other instruments and such. But his songwriting, he always experiments with weird time signatures. Like it's not ever really like a just straight up strumming type of tune. He always does something picky or does some like weird arpeggiated stuff. And this is nothing else. This is this like signature Paul Simon type of stuff. I like a few Paul Simon songs. I'm not the biggest fan of his, but there's quite a few. I mean, he's amazing. He's amazing, but he's one of those like. There's albums I can listen to. There's songs I can listen to, and then I'll get tired of it right away. Like I'll get tired of it like after a couple of listens. I'll be like, okay, I don't have to listen to Paul Simon all the time. But that one song, you can call me out. Ooh, ooh, da-na-na-na. You don't remember that song? You can call me out. Na-na-na-na-na-na. Na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that comes out on a bunch of movies.
Ooh, ooh. It doesn't come out in Look Who's Talking, but it reminds me of Look Who's Talking. I don't know why. I don't know.
It was that time.
Yeah, it was just that time. It was that color palette. Yeah. Paul Simon. Once one half of Simon and Garfunkel. I don't know. If you're listening to this podcast, you probably know who Paul Simon is. Like, if you're nerdy enough to get into this shit, you probably know who he is. But he's Simon and Garfunkel, known for all his work. Sound of Silence, Mrs. Robinson, me and Julio Down by the Schoolyard. 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. That's my favorite of his songs. 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. I love that song. That's an amazing song. But it's not this song. Next song is Ryan Adams' Shining Through the Dark. So this version is a live version that I think this is the one that Ryan Adams was playing. So what did you think about this one?
That's what I'm saying. It's country to me. Like I know he's not considered like.
He's Americana specifically.
Like, that's why. Like,
yeah.
And I know I've always heard people talk about like I get it, but I'm like to me I'm just like.
This song is so Ryan Adams is kind of a controversial guy in some respects. Like he was he's kind of like, I don't think he's like a pleasant guy to be around in some respects, but maybe he wasn't, and he's just gotten older and he's fine now. I don't know what it is, but he was kind of a troublemaker. He was part of a band called Whiskey Town early on. That's where he cut his teeth. He kind of broke out with a song called New York in New York, and then his cover of Wonderwall, of the Oasis song Wonderwall. That's kind of what blew him up amongst people like us, like in our age groups and stuff like that. That's where I first, that's where I leaned in. I was like, well, oh, okay, who's this? What's he doing? And that whole thing was like a acoustic record, and yeah, it was good. It was good stuff. I like him. After that, I had a couple of his CDs, an album called Rock and Roll. He had a band called it was Ryan Adams and the Cardinals was his band, so I have a couple of their records. I'd heard like this song too when I saw them coming out in the movie. I was like, oh, like I was like, Ryan Adams, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, very much like this is stuff I listened to when I was in the Lusitania. Like, I mean, heavy. Like, this is stuff that we would talk about, and like, you know, like it is like the different songwriting things, and like where's he's taking stuff from, and like he's a big I know he's a big Deadhead, so like that's what I was like, well, let me listen to the Grateful Dead, and I'd listen to that, and like, okay, I can see where he's getting these kind of jammy things and stuff like that. Like, he's an interesting guy. He's got a record label, I think it's called Pax Records or something like that in LA, or he had, and they had a cool studio. I remember there'd be like pictures and stuff of it. Yeah. I don't know. I like him a lot. I like this song, not his best song. Yeah, not his best song. By far not the best song on the soundtrack. Next song is another fucking Beatles song. I just want to say this. Every Beatles song is the song. Even their individual songs. Every Beatles song is the song. Every damn, that used to be my hashtag. I used to use every damn Beatles song. Every Beatles song is the song. That's what I think. This one it's weird because he chose an instrumental Paul McCartney tune from the Venus and Mars record, and like, there's no Paul McCartney vocals on it, and that's like, it's Paul McCartney. Like, you want to hear him shout and like being Paul McCartney.
I liked that it didn't have any vocals.
It's fucking cool. It's a fucking awesome song. Lunchbox Odd Socks. It's Paul McCartney being funky, and then like halfway through, it's like gets like super like, it's kind of like reggae and stuff halfway through. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just them jamming out. It's just Paul McCartney jamming out. I really liked it. I'm gonna. And I mean, just like kind of classic Wings-ish era Paul McCartney. I mean, solo Paul McCartney. Solo Paul McCartney is so amazing. Solo Paul McCartney. So Paul McCartney of the Beatles. If you don't know, you gotta know. But solo Paul McCartney. Oh my God. He goes places. He goes different places. There are all these synths and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, like, yes, people remember John Lennon, and people remember the hippiness, and oh man, John Lennon is like the stoner guy. You know, people, the stoners love John Lennon and stuff, right? But it's like, really where it's at is like the funky, like Paul McCartney when he's getting into his like his pocket and like trying shit out and like using his studio himself and finding new synthesizers and shit. It's like nothing. It's like this. It's like there's a song called Temporary Secretary on Paul McCartney 2 that's just fucking insane. It's just insane. Like it's like a fucking dance track. I don't know. He's crazy in his solo stuff. I can talk about him all day. So I was very happy when this popped up, and I was like, it's an instrumental Paul McCartney. It was just it's just an interesting choice. Like, it's an interesting choice for a movie. Like, that's like mainstream movie.
Well, but you also have to think, like, I'm sure it's not easy to get those songs on everything.
It is very not. It is very
I'm sure
not
this
easy.
one was like,
Yes,
okay, no
you're
vocals,
true.
do it.
You're true. It is very not easy.
Yeah,
it is very not
especially one of theirs. I'm like, no, I'm sure that's not.
Yeah, famously very like hard to get Beatles music on anything really. So the fact that you guys are kind of hearing it here, all right. Next is the Graham Parker and the Rumor song, "Watch the Moon Come Down." So this is old school Graham Parker. So this is the old school stuff. It takes forever to start. It takes forever to start. It's kind of like, yeah, like, but it's that like it starts out like, but then it just boom, like if you're gonna start ticky ticky ticky, you're gonna have to blow up at some point, and it never like really blows up.
That's why it's boring.
Yeah. Damn it, Graham Parker. Next song, Loudon Wainwright the third. Now the Wainwrights. I do. This was. I wanna. What am I trying to say? This is the whitest shit I like. I want to say that. This is the whitest shit I like. Because I like the Wainwrights. Loudon Wainwright III, born in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Love North Carolina. I love North Carolina. Casey's family is from North
Megan
Carolina.
was telling me that it's been so cold. So I'm trying to ask her what it's been.
But so Loudon Wainwright, like, is a legendary songwriter, father of Rufus Wainwright and Martha Wainwright. Rufus Wainwright himself is a songwriter. He's also like, I think he's been in. Has he been in movies and stuff? Rufus Wainwright, or just his stuff just been everywhere?
I don't know.
I really like Rufus Wainwright. I really like Rufus Wainwright. But the Wainwright family, like, very like folksy. I mean, he's the OG. He's the very folksiness, the very like it's like this sing-songy, my prose, and he's got a beautiful voice. I can't fucking hate it. I do like his voice. I think it's this. I like these guys because they're not the best singers. Like, they're not, like, and they will admittedly say that, but they'll adapt their voice and their songs to like what they do. Like, it's like, well, I just have to carry my voice however it is.
Yeah.
That's the whole. To me, I think that's also like the allure of like Bob Dylan. Like, he kind of, but also I don't know. He's kind of full of shit here and there. But that's the allure because, like, well, he doesn't have a traditionally like song like, oh, he's the best singer, but like the words and the rhythm and the way everything flows with it, things like that. So yeah. That's why I like these kind of singer-songwriters and stuff. So this next one by Lindsey Buckingham, She Acts Like You. I was I didn't like the song at all. I was like very like, she acts like you. It's talking about like daughter shit. It's like, she acts like you, honey. Like, I was like, oh my god, like, I don't care. So I'll skip that and I'll go to. Oh, I did skip the John Bryan song on there. I couldn't find the John Bryan song, the Debbie and Pete theme. John Bryan's Debbie and Pete theme. If you guys can find it on there, John Bryan, I brought him up on here maybe a couple of times, but he's also an amazing songwriter and stuff. He's an amazing producer. He does a lot of film work. He did the I Heart Huckabee stuff. John Bryan did. That soundtrack.
Fucking love that movie. That movie's so funny.
I want to say he produced Extraordinary Machine, the Fiona Apple record. I want to say that's his sound.
Yeah,
it sounds like
it's busy.
There's busyness to it and like pop, 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 pop. Yeah. But so next is that's our favorite song on the soundtrack.
Yes.
It's Fiona Apple's Dull Tool. It's fucking sick.
Fucking love Fiona Apple.
Where'd you go? She's amazing. Fiona Apple McAfee McGart. She was born in 1977. She's an American singer-songwriter. Okay, so let's see. She's released. So she's had 5 albums from 1996 to 2020, which is amazing to me. Not trying to force all sorts of goop out of your fucking self, like releasing fucking art, and everyone is good. Every album is consistently good.
And like
she doesn't have bad albums.
Nothing after her first one has been on the radio.
No, exactly.
And she still has won, like, her last album won a Grammy, and she's not even on the radio.
Fetch the Bolt Cutters, right?
Yeah.
Fetch the Bolt Cutters won the Grammy. And it's been consistent. She's been in the Billboard 200 chart. Let's see, she's received so many Grammys, so many MTV for Criminal. She received the music video award for that. So many Billboard awards. Tidal was her debut album. It was amazing.
She was 19.
19?
Like what?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
She was born in New York City, and her dad was an actor. Her mom herself was a singer. They were both cast in a Broadway musical called Applause. Oh, that's cool. That's pretty neat. But yeah, she's amazing. We're big fans, if you can't tell. This song was awesome. It's so cool. Yeah,
I was like, oh, thank goodness. I don't have to skip this song.
It comes out at a good time too. Like Paul Rudd, Pete gets pretty frustrated at his birthday party. There's a bunch of bullshit that happens, and he just jumps on his bicycle and just rides and just goes for a ride, and he crashes into a fucking. But it's really intense, like how it builds up.
He's
the song.
riding, and you're just like, oh shit, and then he just boom slams. Somebody opens their car door, and he slams into it. And then even just then, like he's trying to get mad at the guy, and the guy's like, I don't have to look for you. I don't see you. And it's just basically the metaphor for how he feels in life. Yeah. Like, nobody ever looks for me. And then the guy fucking just gut punches him. Or no, it punches him in the face. Yeah. I was like, damn.
Yeah. This song is awesome. We love Fiona Apple. We'll probably watch maybe some Fiona Apple if we don't find super bad. I don't know what we'll do right now. We're gonna watch something. There's gonna be something. I think you gotta wash your face. Do I gotta wash my butt? I think I gotta wash my butt. All right. Next song is another Ryan Adams song. This song I knew of. Like it's called "Lucky Now" by Ryan Adams, and I am trying to talk over this optic white whatever thing. Na, 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 na. I don't remember when we wild and young, all that faded. I think he has an awesome voice, though. Bryan Adams, I do think he has a really good voice.
No, I get it. It's just boring.
I get you. I get you.
And I get it. It's nice. It's nice. It's nice music. It's nice. Like, I get it. But I don't like nice.
Baby, if you're looking now. Because it's got weather on it. To me, it has weather. Like, these songs come from that song that I sing, the Dun-na-na-na, good looking out for the boys, was written because of this. Like, this music. Because, like, I'm like, I want to do something as deep as that. Like, I want to talk about real shit that I feel. Like, of course, you know, how can I say it? I came to this at a time when I was trying to, like, make my lyrics more concrete, I think. Or let's make my stuff more, you felt it and you were there, rather than, like, love is a vast circle of love or something, you know what I mean? Like, just fucking vapid as words. Like, I don't want to be fucking vapid and shit. So I don't know, I found guys like this, like, there's something, there's, like, they've done drugs, they've been fucked up before, you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know, it's like that. That's the perspective I have on this stuff.
I don't grasp that vibe from hearing that. I was like, okay. Oh man.
Well, I like this.
I know. It's
Next song.
It's just not my shit. It's so not my shit.
I know it's not your shit. I know. I know. I understand. This is it. Like I said, it's my white people shit. This is my white people shit.
Yes.
Next song, I Got You at the End of the Century by Wilco. I don't have to ask, but I'm gonna ask. How do you feel about Wilco? What do you think about this song? Was this boring?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's nothing I would ever, like, it doesn't catch my ear. It doesn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, if I was a record producer, if I was somebody and, like, you came and, like, I would already be like, next.
So Wilco is an American rock band, Americana band, like, they have more than Americana.
No, I know. I get it.
They've got
like,
range.
It's very, like, I'm very familiar with the fonts, Wilco.
Oh,
like, I can see it. Like, I know, but
they've been around forever. They were formed in 1994 in Chicago. They're a Chicago band. They come out of the alternative country group Uncle Tupelo. Jeff Tweedy is the principal songwriter, singer-songwriter. I like his songs. He's rad. He knows how to write a good song. Other notables in the band, Nils Klein is a wild, amazing guitarist who also does weird, crazy shit on the side. I really like Nils Klein. I've seen them live. I saw them play here once. I saw them here. I know they've been through here a couple of times. Saw them play here. I was really stoked on it. So many white people. It was like all the white people in El Paso were there. Like, within, like, the 35 to 40 age range. 35 to 45. And a little, maybe, like, a little, like, couple of 50-somethings, you know, that were on their night out, like, of the week. So, you gotta be up at 7 tomorrow? Huh. You gotta be up at 7? What? Don't you gotta be up tomorrow? That shit. It was fun. It was a good show. I went with
You're so ridiculous.
I went with Fancy when Fancy was dating my friend Ricky.
Of course you did.
Yeah, of course I did. Of course I did. Good band. Last song on the soundtrack, another band I like, and I want to know so did you watch the video for this last song that I sent you?
Play the song.
It's the Avett Brothers. No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
The Avett Brothers, Live and Die.
Yes.
So, this room, that is where they recorded Blood Sugar Sex Magic for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's the same house. It was the mansion that Rick Rubin had and stuff, because I believe so it's the Avett Brothers, Live and Die. The Avett Brothers did work with Rick Rubin on this record specifically, I think. Na, 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 na. This is alt country Americana music to the core, because they have a double bass player, they have a fucking banjo player, they do all the stuff. They do the brushes when they play the drums, if there's percussion. Yeah. That's the Sharon Tate mansion too. Did you know that? Mm-hmm. It's the Sharon Tate mansion. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's... I like the Avett brothers. They're a pair of brothers whose last name is Avett. I think it's... I'm pulling them up right now. I want to say Josh and Jeff, Scott and Seth.
Not even close.
They're from Concord, North Carolina. North Carolina! I love North Carolina. I fucking love North Carolina. I really did love it. Like, I really did love our time there. I was in the hotel most of the time, too. Like, I was in the fucking hotel most of the time. I was working that week.
The air was that fresh.
The air
and it
was so
that
fresh.
green.
The water was, like, not hard.
I want to take you there in the summer and see what you say.
I mean, we've been to hot. Like, we've been to muggy, like, NOLA and shit. Yeah, okay.
No, well, we've been to New Orleans when it's been, like, gonna maybe start hitting spring. We haven't been there when it's been hot at all. Yeah, I want to take you to North Carolina in the dead of the summer, and you'd be like, holy shit. Like, my ass and my balls are swampy all day. All day.
But these dudes do an Americana. They do some... Then they'll also throw in, like, indie and punk and pop stuff in here. Pair of brothers, they're very good. I'm down to go in the summer. You know I'm down. You know I'm down to go.
I'm just saying.
I
Like,
love your family. I love your family. They're amazing. I would go see them anytime. I will go see them anytime. I'm super down for that. Super down. But yeah, I very much like these guys. I very much am a fan of the Avett brothers. So it's that too. I haven't listened to these guys a lot recently, but I used to listen to like Bryan Adams and the Avett brothers and shit all the time. There's a song called Murder in the City that I used to cover by these guys. That's a very good song. Murder in the City. But this is not that. This is Live and Die. You are... And that is the Very White soundtrack to This Is 40, directed by Judd Apatow, starring Paul Rudd and Leslie Mann. Any final thoughts, my love?
It's a funny movie to watch.
It's a funny movie. What's your favorite? What was your favorite? What was like the funniest part for you? What do you think? Do you have any parts that stand out?
I mean, just like there was so many little scenes. Just like the kids were funny when they say stuff to them.
The hemorrhoid part was iconic. It's an iconic part.
Where he's like, I need you to look at something. Yeah. That was like, yeah, that shit's fucking real.
Yeah, that shit's real.
What is it? What else?
When she's giving him a blowjob and the kids are like banging.
Luckily, like, why is the door locked?
That's why. No fucking kids.
I was like,
no kids. You don't gotta worry about that.
What are you doing there? Stop yelling! And then everybody's just yelling.
Go away! That was real funny.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. It's a good movie. So it did make its money, but critically, it's kind of like a B on like critics.
Yeah, I'm sure most people were like, meh.
Yeah, kind of people were kind of over it, or like it was less. Because Knocked Up was such a big... It was such a big movie. Knocked Up was a big movie, and This Is 40 were big movies. They were pretty big movies for, like, that whole universe. Like, I think that the trifecta of that, and Superbad. Like, those three, to me, kind of, like, set those guys up.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Yeah. But, yeah, like, I don't know. I very much like this movie. I'll watch it. And if it pops up, it's a very easy film to watch. Judd Apatow stuff. It's fine. There's a lot of good ones. There's some stuff that's like played out and like, okay, I get it now. I get they're trying to do the Judd Apatow. It's also a thing now.
Yeah,
it's also the Judd
sure.
Apatow thing now.
For sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was kind of more glad that I didn't relate to more stuff because I was like, okay, I'm turning 40. Let's see.
Right.
But I don't feel, and I don't think I act, and most people don't know that I'm that age or old or whatever. But
do you like? I don't know. Like, I don't. 40 isn't old
40
anymore.
isn't old. Like,
No.
I don't think 40 is old either. I just, to think about being a 40-year-old, like, most people, like, my mom already was a full-blown adult, like, had kids, and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
the thing is
I just don't feel like,
but
and
also,
I'm like, is it kids that make you feel like an adult, or that transport
it's a couple
you
of things.
to that?
I think this is where I'm also going to get into leftist stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't want to be an adult either.
But it's also, and that it's a couple of things with exactly like our generation.
Peter Pan forever.
Our generation does not have the type of wealth that our forefathers, like your mom at her age already owned a house.
Mm-hmm.
That is a wealth. Like, whether your mom is struggling or not at that point, she still had a job. She had enough to she did her thing. She worked her ass off.
Mm-hmm.
But she also had the asset of a house. She was able to pay that and have that. Like, our generation is kind of priced out of a lot of that stuff. We're priced out of the luxury of being a little more adult. Like, unless you got like a fucking massive job. I don't know. Like, it's harder. It's just so much harder than
the
with
house
us.
we grew up in was like, and I could be wrong, but I want to say it was like $50,000 to $70,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's what the house cost, and like, it's a 3-bedroom, 1 bathroom. Like, it's nothing huge, but it's just like, even now, you can't find anything for under 100, and if you do, it's like you gotta put a lot of work into it.
I want to say my grandma's house was like 70,000 or something like that, or less, maybe less.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and remember when houses, like, we were alive when houses were that much.
Yeah.
We were alive.
I remember still being like, it was like, okay, they're like 80,000,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh, pushing it.
And like, it's just it is different now. Like, that's the whole thing, is that our parents can, or whatever society can, look at us as any certain way they can. Whatever also, because we live our lives the way we want to live our fucking lives. That's what it is. Like, we are grown. Like, you're a full-blown business owner. You're a full-blown business owner with a full stack of clients who does very good work, and you're constantly doing amazing work. You also have a podcast that you're on, that you're consistent with. You also make time for your family. So you're a very successful adult. Like, you are not, like, we don't own a fucking house. Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares?
Yeah,
Fuck the
because I
housing
also
market.
don't have to buy a water heater when it breaks, or
do we want to get something and just be upside down when the fucking market flips over again on its fucking back because we're in late stage capitalism? Either way, it's gonna do that. Like, these houses aren't, like, I don't think, to me, the stuff that was sold to us as what assets are and stuff, I don't think a house is an asset. I don't think a car is an asset.
I don't either. Like, most people,
it's not
like,
an asset.
Like, you're raised to feel, or like, when I was little, you were raised to think that was something, like, that was your worth, that was your value. And to me, I was always like, it feels like a money pit.
Yes.
Like, it feels like that's how they, like, you're stuck in one place. Like, I don't want to be stuck. I don't have a house. Like, if we decided we wanted to move to another country, like, bye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that, like, too. Like, I do like the individuality of having a yard, and I do like, that.
Yeah.
It's all, and I'm not aspiring not to have, like, another spot. Like, there is aspirations, like, we need, you know what I mean? Like, we can have a little garden.
And I told myself that too. Like, I was a late bloomer. Like, I wasn't trying, like, I would say the things that you think you're supposed to say of, like, oh, I'm going to go off to college and I'm going to go, like, move somewhere else. I wasn't given enough of the skills to go move somewhere else by myself. Like, and I stayed at home forever because it's like, I wasn't trying to move out. Like, I wasn't, I had no reason to move out. I wasn't dating anybody. I wasn't trying to hide anything. So it was like, what do I need to move? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly.
And I mean, yeah, everybody has it, like, oh, I wanted my freedom and I wanted my this, but it's
but you
like,
had that.
I was still, like, I got to go hang out with my friends.
You did whatever you wanted.
I got to do, like, maybe not in high school, but I didn't have any money anyway, But, like, once I did have money, like, I was able to go do whatever I wanted. Like, You know, so, but that's
Yeah.
why I tell myself now with us living here, I'm like, I know you've lived on your own for much longer than I have. But for me, I'm like, I feel like I'm 18 and this is barely like, I barely
Yeah.
moved out. Like, I've never
Mm-hmm.
lived by myself.
Mm-hmm. And that, like, you I'm not knocking the aspirations of us one day owning our place or whatever. Like,
Hmm.
you never say never. I am just,
Like, it has to be
it has
like,
to be it,
right. Like, I
but
don't want
it's,
a cookie cutter. That's why I don't
yeah.
want a house because I'm like, why do I want to go move into a neighborhood where my house looks like the other house that's like a couple
Yeah,
houses
that's,
down or the
yeah.
one across the street and like it looks like everybody's I don't want that. Like I
Yeah.
want like a, you know what I mean? I want
Mm-hmm.
a fucking cottage in the middle of the woods or like something
Yeah.
unique. Like I don't want a cookie cutter house. I
Yeah.
don't want no like if I'm going to have a house, like it's going to be a fucking house with a yard and I could be self-sufficient and grow my own food and I don't have to leave or go
Yeah.
anywhere. Like why else?
Yeah.
Like until that's the like I don't want a house if unless it's that.
And it's just like, yeah. It's like, then I guess that getting back to the 40 of it, like,
Mhm.
I'm a few years younger than you, right? But not
Mhm.
by much,
Mhm.
and I'm approaching that, and I'm telling, like, I feel stunted in my growth and stuff. Cause, like, look, I fucking love toys. I love fucking playing with shit. I love playing video games. Like, I love drawing. I love fucking singing. Like, I love reading comics. And if anybody's Peter Pan, it's me, right? But at the same point, like, there's old people that read comics. There's old people that fucking do all the shit that we
And
are.
I'm trying to be happy. Like
Yeah,
I'm not trying
exactly,
to
exactly.
conform.
I'm not
Like I
trying to.
don't want to
And at the
conform.
same point, the cartoons that I watch were made by older people. You know what I mean? They were made by 40-year-olds. The books that I read were drawn by like 40-year-olds. The toys that I made were designed by 40, 50-year-old. Like,
Mhm.
fuck it. Like, it looks like a thing to certain people, especially because we're here in El Paso.
Mhm.
Because everybody is the same person here in El Paso.
There's no room for any like
And the
individuality.
individual,
Like
yeah. I mean, when we're in LA, like, there's a bunch of people that they're probably 40s and they're doing cool shit, but we can't even tell that they're like in their 40s. They're probably like, because they're in our circles and stuff, they're
mhm.
maybe a little older than us and they're cool. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
it doesn't, like, whatever box society tries to put you in or whatever frame of mind you think you have to be in as a 40-year-old or whatever the fuck, you are already whatever you need to be. You are enough. You are more than enough, and you are amazing. So, like, that's why, like, I know that it's stressful, and I know that age, like, I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out approaching 40. I am. Like, and it's like accomplishment, and it's like, oh, what about?
Yeah, like oh, I don't have this and
But
I
you
don't
know,
have this
but
and
honestly, like it's hard, but we have done cool shit. Like,
mhm.
we've done cool shit.
Mhm.
And just you as an individual has done cool shit in your life. You lived a life already. You have a lot of life experience. You've experienced cool things. I myself too have experienced cool things. Like, we're not as far behind maybe as we think we are,
Yeah.
and it's just because we're in the moment, it feels that way. That's also why I meditate, so I can just slow my moment down and be like, you
Mhm.
know what, yeah, this is where you're supposed to be right now. Be here now. That's the thing with, like, with some, there was a book, but,
Mhm.
be here now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that. Like, you're awesome. You're awesome.
Thanks.
You're amazing. I'm very happy that I'm gonna be with the 40-year-old now. It's super hot. I think it's super hot. Well,
Oh,
and
yeah.
anything to plug, my love? Baked chicken
Um,
farms?
Baked Chicken Farm. Yeah,
Baked chicken
check
farm.
out Baked Chicken Farm. Follow them on Instagram.
Check out their drinks. Check out their drinks. If you're in specifically specifically if you are in New Mexico, they are very New Mexico based. It's a local company.
Yeah, like if you're doing a old Mesilla trip, it's near in the vicinity. You can go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
The other day they were passing out shit at the college, like
Oh, that's
just
cool.
giving out merch and stuff.
That's pretty rad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're a very good company. Casey, let's see, the shop's doing good. Deep Cuts is doing good. She's very busy.
There will be rearranging. I've already been telling some of my clients, like, I already know I'm going to rearrange in here. And it's funny because they'll get excited, or I can see that some of them are like, they're creatures of habit. So, like, since I like to move shit, or I'll, like, they're like everybody, oh, that's a new blow dryer. Everybody, everybody noticed. Not one person didn't notice that I had a new
That's
blow
pretty cool.
dryer.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
It's just funny. Like, I just feel, I don't know.
That's cool.
I'm very thankful, and I'm very happy to be able to do something that's, I can be creative.
Yes.
And that I have clients that have, like, it's taken me so long to get to this point. Like, I forget, I think I was talking to Jamie, and I was telling her, I was like, I haven't owned a swatch book since I left Ulta. Like, I just stopped using a swatch book. Like, I felt like it was so detrimental to the outcome or to the process, just because they see that swatch of hair in the swatch book and they're like, my hair is going to look like that. And it's just burned into their mind. So once you're done and it's not that, like, exact color, like, you're the worst, you know what I mean? And you feel like shit. So I just, like, I'm glad I got to a point where my clients like what I do, so they don't, none of them, like, half the time I'll even be like, so are we doing the same color? Do you want to do something? No, the same. And just because they're happy and they like that they're getting, like, they're liking what I'm doing, or even if they want something different, they'll be like, what do you think? And they really want to know, like, and I'll tell them, I think you should do this, or if I were you, I would do this. And half of them are like, all right, let's do it. Like, that's so fucking awesome. Like, that's so fun, where it's just like somebody, I don't like when somebody asks my opinion and then does whatever the fuck they want. Like, don't ask me. Like, you don't need to ask me. Do what you want to do. But if you're going to fucking ask me, you better fucking listen. Like, that's so annoying.
You're awesome.
So yeah, I'm very thankful for the clients that I have. Even on days when I'm tired and I complain and whatever, like, I'm very thankful for the stability that I have. Like, to have to, like, I'm so annoyed, or when I get mad, when I'm just like, oh, like, this person wants to come in and I can't take them. Like, what a great thing to complain about. Like, oh, sorry, no, like, I'm too busy. Like, and then I feel like an asshole, or like I'm being snooty or whatever. But I've worked very, very hard to be able to get to this point.
You very much have. And I'm very proud of you.
So I'm very grateful.
Thankful. I'm very grateful for you. So Deep Cuts, you can follow us at MonoStereoVideo. Faro. You can follow us at MonoStereoVideo. I'm going to include my YouTube page, because I'm gonna start posting stuff on YouTube related to MonoStereoVideo pretty soon. So I will still include my YouTube page, I will also include the links to Baked Chicken Farms, to Cannacribs.org. I will also include the links to help anybody that you would like to help. If you are able to help anybody in LA, our hearts go out to Los Angeles. We love you.
I reposted some links that them on IG, on Instagram posted for like hotlines and stuff for people that are feeling desperate and like they need to talk to somebody or have some sort of, like, they're feeling like, a lot of people are really scared right now.
Yeah.
And that's not a way, you shouldn't be scared, especially like the most conceited country in the fucking world.
Yeah.
That's so, like, we're number one, but yet the people that live in your country, you're making them scared to be there. Like, that's just like any other country that you say you're better than because you don't do that. Like, you shouldn't be scared.
Yeah, we live in weird times in our country, so we're here for you. We're here for you guys. We are here for you, however we can be, us too, with however we can be, in whatever capacity we can be it. And right now it's sharing these links and stuff, but we'll share other ways and other things that we can help out. Follow us on the social medias for us to share things as well. at MonoStereoVideo. You can find me at _ JJCABALLERO. Deep Cuts EP. Yeah, I think that's everything I needed to plug. Thank you very much, and we'll listen to you later.